Alright, so it's time to wire this thing up. So I'm going to get straight to it and take these doors off. And then I'm going to set up the camera on a tripod. And we'll go from there. Alright, we're going to get this thermostat straightened out because I don't like this one bit. That's power going to the unit. But I need to get this panel off. And if I'm not mistaken, that's screwed at the bottom. Get that off. Put that there. Oh boy, I got my work cut out for me today. First thing I need to do is get the low voltage wired in. First thing I actually need to do is get this thermostat wire and a piece of seal tight. So we're going to do that first off. 90 here. And this here is going to go on like this. The first thing you get the seal tight on. That's the way you do this. It's kind of tricky. Shove it down in here like this, and you tighten it. That's just for a thermostat wire, so I'm not going to go crazy on it, and then I'm going to feed the wire through here. Just like this. I'm going to work over the camera. Alright. So I can get that in there. I'll have to get some sheet metal snips to cut that. And let me get the seal tight straight. Alright, so I got the seal tight in there. It's not pretty, but that's as much as I can do because I didn't have that much to work with. But now we're going to get to the fun part. We're going to get to this thermostat wire. Gotta be careful not to nick anything. Last thing I need to do is blow a fuse on this brand new unit, black wire I don't think I'm going to use. Still. Yeah, I nicked it right there. That's fine though. I can cut it right here. Alright. Pull this down. That's how I like to do thermostat wire. Just cut that off. Get rid of the string. And now, because this will get pushed back up in there, so I need to move the camera over to here. It's going to be a weird angle, I know. Alright, wiring up low voltage. Just twist it on like this. And it should be good, so there's red. Next, we're going to do green, which is our fan. I have to go get some wire strippers to strip this thin stuff. So let me gauge how much I need to strip off. I'll mark it like so. Go right about here. A little high, so I'm going to have to cut it because I don't want to blow that 3 amp fuse. Hands cramping as usual. Oops, sorry camera. I don't want to break my new camera either. Pinch these together, get them started. Twist them on until they're tight. Alright, that one's good. Black I'm not going to use, I don't think, unless there's a short in one of these wires. So the next one, oops, it's going to be W. Blue is common. You know what? Might not need a, because this has emergency heat. It's optional, that's why some wires are stripped and some are not. So what I need is to mark this. First I need to look now if I have wire strippers, which I don't think I do. And I don't. Okay, so I don't have wire strippers, so I have to do this here the old fashioned way. Like I said, this is just 24 volts. Blue is common, that's powering the thermostat. You see what I'm doing? Good. Common is optional too, but I am a battery-free type of person. I know this is common because this blue wire right here, I can trace it going back up to here, which this is our common wire, which is going down through here, and we have another blue wire here, which is common coming off the board, so it kind of goes through the board as well, because if something happens on the board, it's going to show it on the thermostat, like if there's no power, because this board right here is like the brains of the unit almost. It controls everything. And you see all your low voltage hooks on the bottom. Alright, so next will be yellow, which is compressor. In this case, it is violet. And I know that for a fact by tracing this wire here. See here I'm pulling on it, and I can tug on it, trace it, back up to here's the compressor. Alright, get all these others out of the way for right now. I'm just going to guess on the strip gauge here. Peel this off. Alright, I do have to snip it off a little bit. Screw it on. Alright, that one's good. Next is our reversing valve, cooling active. So it's dormant, so it's not dormant, it's de-energized in the heating mode. So the reversing valve does not have 24 volts going to it on the cooling active in heating. If that makes any sense the way I said that. I'm sure it does. spot on the perfect size. I'll go ahead and thread this on like so. Alright, so then we got white and brown. Both go into the heat strips. White, brown is our, I'll have double checking the thermostat. Brown is our dedicated emergency heat signal, I do believe. And white is our auxiliary. So that's the way I'm going to wire it. I'm pretty sure that's the correct way. Double check at the stat. Try not to cut myself here. This knife is stupid sharp. So I'm trying not to cut myself, and I think I just did. What was that? Still recording. What time am I at? 7 minutes, wow. I've got nothing accomplished. This here is getting ridiculous. Cut the top off. Peel this crud back. Make sure I get all the strands of wire out of there. Man, I love my wire strippers right about now. There we go. Take our white wire, shave a little off here. Come on now. Oh, the top's kind of screwed up, that's why. There's that. I'm under a pine tree, that's what I keep hearing. Straighten out the wires. I'm gonna go run out of wire nuts. I got the biggest pack Lowe's had. Then we'll have wire up high voltage, which that'll be fun. I'll have to strip out wire and then turn the camera on. And our last wire is going to be our brown wire, so I can go ahead and get, well, I don't want to get rid of this black wire because the reason being is if for whatever reason in the lines, if one of them has a short in it, say it was manufactured wrong or it broke when we was pulling it or something, I can take his black wire and say, for example, if the common wire's got a short in it and the solid wire, thermostat wire, I can take his black wire and just change it in the thermostat and still have a common. You don't necessarily have to color code everything. I like to because it's simple. Yellow is compressor, orange is reversing valve, blue is common, on this unit at least, and G is fan, because green means fan in HVAC terminology. But don't just always assume that. If you're a tech out in the field, anyone can wire any wire to anything. I've always wired them to the corresponding color. Alright, that was my electrician. He's not camera shy, but I still turned the camera off out of courtesy. Oops, well, I'm glad I saw that, because that would have been a short waiting to happen. So now I gotta peel this common back off and fix it. Just what I wanted, because I didn't strip it right. He was nice enough to lend me a pair of wire strippers. I'll go ahead and cut that and strip it to the right length. Wire strippers are the best thing ever invented when it comes to doing stuff like this. Oh look, I'm bleeding. I wonder if that's going to get demonetized. I must have stabbed myself with a wire and not even pay attention. Oh well, it'll stop. Alright, Alright, that's good and tight. That one's good and tight. I'm going to tighten these to where the wires twist around themselves. That way I know they're good. So we are ready to cram all this in the low voltage compartment, which they do give a lot of room, which is what I like about Goodman, because I can cram this stuff way up in here and still be out of the way. Now that is very neat. So now what we're going to do is plug in the contactor. So this is our wire that's going to go into the contactor. Oh, I'm going to freaking yell at my HVAC guy, the one I was working alongside, for doing this, because look at that. Shave it back and make it work. This is number 8, because this thing calls for like a 50 amp breaker. This ain't even hooked up in the disconnect yet, is it? Heck no. Looks like I gotta wire up a disconnect before I even do that. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Alright, so before I mess with the unit, this should come off, because I don't need it cracking me in the head. It does come off, but I'm not going to mess with it. So now what I've got to do is hook up the unit wire. Usually an electrician will do this, but I can handle this. Alright, there we go. Peel back insulation. What I kind of like to do is just run the knife up along it so I'm not nicking the wires. Then I peel back enough to where I can bend them in to line, which is right here, and that's going to be perfect. So I can go ahead and shave that off, throw it away, peel our paper off our solid copper ground, and hope and pray I've got a flat blade screwdriver, which I don't, so I have to go in the house to get one. Okay, so now I got a screwdriver. We're going to open up this ground lug here. Try to get this wire up in here. Okay. Alright. Peel all this back. I need more wire. Put a dent in my knife. Must be a good knife, whatever knife that is. Alright. There we go. And then the unit wire goes on load. Yeah, this is going to the unit. I know that for a fact. I need to tighten that up too. Do that first. Oh, stay up. Hey, I said stay up. Alright, tighten this one down. Alright, I don't like how that moved, but oh well. Now then, disconnect covers, I don't need those right now. I can get this wire. Hack this one off. Alright. Now that the interruption's out of the way. Oh, this is stranded wire. My least favorite. I got a little bit too much wire showing, so I need to cut off about this much. My electrician in there doing some stuff to an old outlet. Then what I'd like to do is take my lineman pliers. What way is this going to twist? Alright, so it's going to go to my right. I like to do that. I know the wire is going to go up in there. And I wish these covers came off. I know I'm blocking y'all's view. Well, not really. Alright, so that kind of worked as planned. This is not wanting to. There we go. Next wire. Okay. This is some tough stuff. Ow. That kind of hurt. Oh well. The same deal over here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to chop its top off. Just about that much. I need to braid that one. I almost cut myself there. These edges of this stuff is really sharp. Alright, that one's up. Next is, oh, I don't like this right here. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, I might fix this. Shave it off, cut it off, do something. Actually, I'll put it the other side. I'll tell you why in a minute. Alright, this here is way too long. And this is coming out the right side. So if we hold it up, you can see how long it is. I can cut it right there and it'll be perfect. Now, I really should wear gloves because I'm getting like little tiny cuts on my hand. It hurts, but it's fun. Oh, well, it would help if I turn the screw out. Even pros make mistakes. There we go. stretch my legs for a minute because I'm freaking giant. And we're gonna cut this wire here. Really sharp knife. Just skim it across the top here. Make sure my electrician don't sneak up on me. Not to cut the camera. This here's how I always do it, the line going to the unit, which is pretty easy because this isn't such a long run like the others that I've done. I always cut the insulation back further on the unit going to it, and you don't want no exposed insulation or anything really. Alright, that's good. This ground, the reason I switched the wires around, because it'll go in like that. Because we got line in the middle, which line is coming from a breaker box in the house, and load is right here. Obviously the power's off because the electrician's repairing the severely messed up breaker panel. So this wire here I'm going to shove under here. Where's my needle nose? It's going to be perfect. Look at that. Put a bend in that. My electrician don't like what he sees. If he could straighten it out, but I'm pretty darn sure that he's gonna love it. A little bit more on this one. Take this one out just a little bit more. Cover is going to fit over this. Oh yeah, it will. Kind of bring these wires in a little bit. It's going to fit right in there. That's why I say don't mess with disconnects, because everything behind that plastic panel is live with 240 volts. It's pretty scary. So now we're going to turn our attention to stopping the camera and doing the heat strip. Alright, so the unit's now wired up. I finally figured out the heat kit. We had to do some modifications to it because, yeah, story for a different time, but it's going to work. And I had to figure out the wiring. There's a whole mess of wiring in here. Here's our ECM blower taps. I don't know what that wire is right there, but I'm not going to question it. I got the contactor wired up, as you can see, and got the disconnects all done. So now, I still gotta get some blank off plates to do that, but for the time being, there's no power right now, because we're still fixing the breaker panel. But it should be good. Getting ready for the startup. It's time. Turn the new Goodman on. So the first thing that I'm going to do is plug that disconnect in before I hit the breaker. And then I'm going to go in once the circular saw stops and plug the thermostat in. Then I'll come back out here. I'm only going to run it 5-10 minutes. I'm going to check amp draw on the compressor. And I'll worry about the heat kit later. We'll burn it in another day. Disable the delay on the thermostat. I got too impatient. So we're going to go to amps alternating, check our compressor terminal. 3.6 amps. Alright, so we get about 7 amps. It says RLA is 17.9. We're well within range. RLA is the max it can run. Our condenser fan, I think it's a black wire here. Yeah, it's getting 1.47, and it's a there might be a blower motor, FLA. No, that was a blower motor. Yeah, black is the blower, and it was pulling 2 amps. This brown wire up here is our fan. And it is pulling not even an amp, and it's rated at 1.4. So we're good here. So let's button this thing up and kick the heat strips on. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap up today. This is the second unit that I've installed all by myself. My heat and air guy that I was working with, he just did the duct work, and he helped me set the unit, and he did all the sheet metal work, I did all of this, and as you saw, wired the unit and checked amp draw and all that, so it's good to go. And there'll be a lot more videos on this because I'm nowhere near done with the inside of the house. I did try emergency heat. It does work. The blower actually slows down significantly on emergency heat. This thing, I might have to figure out how to change the blower speed on it.